What's going on?
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 505 Sports Foundation Venture Program. We're here through the generosity of Steve Davis up the stairs as the ProView president. Our producer, Adrian, is in behind the glass, and we're going to introduce a special guest after our first break. But I'm here to talk to you once again and ask for your help. In Albuquerque, we had big news yesterday. One of our star players and most respected and loved kids, JT Toppin, entered into the portal. And all around me was shock and sadness, and that's understandable. We were all a little shocked. It didn't go down the way I thought it would, but it happens. And people were wringing their hands and complaining about it, and a lot of people told me, well, we just can't compete. And I said, hold on. Of course we can compete. Duke lost half its roster. We only lost one player we were counting on last year. The rest of our conference took bigger hits. So come on, New Mexico. This is our opportunity. This is our opportunity to strengthen our program, to make New Mexico a destination where kids who enter the portal want to come. This is not a bad loss. This is a moment for us to realize how important our collective is, realize how fragile rosters are, and if we want to compete, and that's up to you. If the University of New Mexico is to compete at a high level, we need your support. So, 505sports.org. It'll show you how to donate. We have programs as low as $20 a month, which give you access and insider information. Again, 505sports.org. Get on board. Let's keep this thing going. We'll be right back with our special guest.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mirror here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We aren't all born with the same opportunities. But it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
If you're drunk,
blasted,
intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
destroyed, bruh.
If you're like this,
you shouldn't be driving.
Teenagers love a party.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're here at ProView Studios for part 2 of today's 505 SVF program. I have a very special guest. We've had a long relationship on social media, on broadcasting Lobo news and events. I want to introduce CBS reporter Isabel Gonzalez.
Thank you for having me, Kurt. I'm excited to see you again.
Okay, well, great to be here. I have to tell a story. When we met, we were running the Lobo Lair website, and I needed sort of someone to run it, basically, to coordinate it. I'm an idiot. I don't know how to do the tech stuff. I didn't know how to do anything, so I was introduced to Isabel. You told me your story. Now, okay, let me get this straight. Born in Mexico.
Correct.
And you moved to South Carolina, Greenville, South Carolina, at what age?
11 years old.
Okay, so you're 11 years old, you're Mexican born in South Carolina, then you moved to Albuquerque.
Yes, 2 years later, so I was 13.
So you're 13 now, you're in Albuquerque, you go to public school, you graduate from El Dorado, University of New Mexico. What was your degree at UNM?
Multimedia, with a film program, so I went to film school.
Okay, film school, right. All right. The reason I'm telling this story is because people who know her and are from Albuquerque know the girl from Mexico, South Carolina, Albuquerque is a champion figure skater. Correct?
I mean, I wouldn't say that's what I'm known for, but yes, I do figure skate.
And you've been successful competing at times.
Yeah, and coaching.
Okay, so do you still do that?
Not so much anymore because, I get busy with work, but I do coach still, and I do still love it.
Okay, quickly, how does Mexico, South Carolina, and Albuquerque get a kid, a woman no less, to be a figure skater?
See, my life makes no sense because there's not a ton of figure skating in Mexico. South Carolina is not exactly the figure skating hub, but my grandma lived like 5 minutes walking from a skating rink in South Carolina. And since I was little, my mom always told me, do something after school. And when I was little, I was swimming. I did not really like swimming, going back and forward. I thought it was boring. So when we moved to South Carolina, I wanted to spend time with my grandma. So I'm like, wait, there's a rink right there. I could just pretend I'm going to actually take this seriously, and I'm just going to go hang out with my grandma, maybe skate a little. I thought I was just going to learn how to skate around. And then, joke's on me. I go there, and they're like, hey, we're going to learn how to jump and spin. But I mean, I ended up loving it, so it worked out.
Okay, well, I didn't believe it when I first heard that. When I was first introduced to Isabel, she said not only is she really competent, she's perfect for the website, you have to meet her, and she's a figure skater. And I said, what, a figure skater? I actually saw a couple of YouTube clips, they're probably still up there, with you doing those wild one skate circle.
Funny enough, when I got hired at CBS, one of my managers, he told me he watched one of those videos. I posted something on Twitter. He was like, that's part of why we hired you, because you're coachable. And I was like, wow, a video of me doing a little spin helped out. But yeah, it did. So shout out to South Carolina.
You're coachable because you could ice skate. I guess so. I guess that makes sense. Anyway, all right. So now, before we get to what's going on today and what you're working on, you've covered a bunch of different things at CBS. Well, first, how long have you been there now?
Almost 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you follow Isabel, it's easy to follow her. What's the easiest way? Is it Twitter? Is it on CBS?
So yeah, if you go to cbssports.com, you can look up my name. You can see all my stories, and of course, all my coworkers too. They have great stories too. And then on Twitter at @CIsabelG.
Okay. Well, you can always go look. There's tons of her interviewing some really serious athletes at all levels in all different sports. But before we get to the end of our first segment, you did a lot of women's college basketball this year.
Yes.
So the big story, of course, was Caitlin Clark. I mean, even though they didn't win it, what do you think that has a lasting impact on women's basketball?
I think it does. I feel like it was already kind of on the come up, but just watching her break the all-time scoring record and just her demeanor, I think that helped a lot. It brought a lot of eyes into the game, and there were a lot of other players who also helped with that, but she was just amazing, obviously, and now I think she's going to bring a lot of eyes to the WNBA.
Well, also, I mean, we had an incredible South Carolina team. Incredible. And they handled Iowa pretty easily, I think. A little bit of a scare. And the key for me, though, do you think a Caitlin Clark inspires more young girls to play basketball?
Absolutely. I think young girls, if they're seeing that women's basketball is getting attention, they're going to be more excited to be a part of it. And it also helps that more attention brings in, more money, more investment in women's sports overall, not just basketball, but it does kind of motivate you. It shows you that it does matter and that people do want you playing. Because a lot of the times, they can kind of get discouraged early on, but this is going to help.
Well, I think the eyes on the championship game outdid the men's game.
Yes, it did. Yeah, and obviously, like you mentioned, South Carolina, undefeated season. Dawn Staley is amazing. She is the next big coach. She's already building a dynasty in South Carolina. So you got those two really cool storylines, Caitlin Clark and Dawn Staley's team.
I always wanted, there was talk years ago, and I'm blanking on the woman's name. She played at Colorado State. She worked with Kim Hammond. She worked with the Spurs. And her name was actually mentioned as a potential UNM men's Lobos coach. You think we'll see a woman coach a men's team?
Oh, I think so. I think we're already kind of inching closer. Obviously, in the NBA, there's been assistant coaches. So, yeah, why not?
Yeah, I think Dawn Staley might be, when I watch her speak, I think she's one of the coolest. She'd be a great coach. She could coach anybody, men, women. I mean, it's weird to have to ask because a large portion of the women's coaches are men. So why couldn't it work the other way?
Yeah, I agree. And Dawn Staley, I think there were even jokes about her coaching some of the men's teams, like Kentucky and everything. So,
yeah, she should. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back with Isabel. We're going to discuss the NBA, the playoffs, and maybe we'll even mention the collapse by my beloved New York Knicks last night. Stay with us.
Teenagers love a party, especially during prom and graduation season. Often, alcohol is involved. Some parents think that hosting a party with alcohol in their home will keep the kids safe, but it's wrong and it's illegal. As a parent, to allow your teenagers' underage friends to consume alcohol on your property is a felony. Parents who host lose the most. Don't be a party to teenage drinking.
This is a program of the Drug Free Action Alliance. For more information, go to burnco.gov/do-not-host.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
You make my heart better. Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Like and shorty, you got my attention. CEO, baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
Hey, look, it's Dwight Goodman.
This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom. Boom.
Wide. Hey everybody, we're back. I'm here with Isabel Gonzalez, CBS Sports. We're about to talk a little NBA basketball, and this is NBA basketball when I mentioned the New York Knicks. Now, I've been a New York Knicks fan since 1964. My first two games in Madison Square Garden were in the old Madison Square Garden. For anyone under 100 years old, it's hard to remember. The Madison Square Garden the Knicks play in now is by far and away the oldest arena in the NBA. It's also the best arena for the fan experience. For New Mexican fans, it's kind of like the Pit. You don't have the amenities, you don't have the room, you don't have the big screens. You've got a packed arena with crazy New Yorkers, and it's the loudest place in the NBA. But we saw a disaster last night. 6-point lead with 28 seconds left. Missed foul shots. Maxey scores 7 points in 6 seconds. What happened?
Honestly, I feel like it just came down to Maxey not wanting this to be over. But yeah, he was incredible. You know, down by 6, and he gets that 4-point play, and that shot from the logo. Like you told me earlier when we kind of like touched on it that. Yeah, you knew it was going to happen. He was going to make it. So he was incredible. He was just so hungry. When
that ball left his hands, his form was so good.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, no, you know. I was hoping it would kind of rattle out and they'd go, ooh. But instead, nothing but net. Knicks ran out of gas, which is weird because Maxey and Embiid are playing on one leg. They're playing the whole time, and the Knicks ran out of gas. All right. Everyone who told me the Knicks were going to compete with the Celtics this year, don't tell me that anymore. All right, so you're covering the NBA now.
Yes.
Okay, what series are you looking at?
I'm mostly focusing on Nuggets Lakers right now, I was, and then now Nuggets.
What's up with the Lakers?
See, I feel like they have, obviously LeBron and AD, but it's just detail, attention to detail. They started off all their games really, really well. I believe I saw a stat where the whole series they led over 60% of the series. So technically they could have won it, and a lot of it also comes, back to the Nuggets, and they could have won Game 2. Jamal Murray made that incredible shot, so they were really, really close. But those third quarters, fourth quarters, they were just not working out, and that's when timeouts and all the details, all the roles, everybody playing a specific role, that's when that's important, and it just didn't happen for them.
Well, you talk about timeouts, specific roles. That sounds like strategy and coaching. You think we see a coaching change there?
From what I've seen, that's very likely. It would make sense.
That's a tough job, though. Isn't really LeBron the coach?
He does a lot for sure, but I think there's a lot more to it.
But he has to, he'll play a part. They're not going to hire. I can't see, can you see the Lakers hiring a coach without LeBron giving a thumbs up?
No, I couldn't see it. Obviously, they want to keep him around. There was even that report that the Lakers were even considering getting, Bronny in, so LeBron would stay, and that would be an amazing move marketing-wise. But yeah, you want to keep LeBron, even just as the face of your franchise. But he really does a lot. So.
Well, I had the thought. Back in the day when I was a young guy, the Celtics just dominated the NBA in the 60s. Every time they got to the final, they won. They beat the Lakers, 5 or 6 times in a row. And Red Auerbach retired, and very similar, sort of at the end of his career, a veteran leader, Bill Russell, became the player coach. He was a player coach, and they won the NBA championship. Do you think with the way the NBA is now, we could see LeBron James player coach, Bronny on the bench?
Ooh, that's a great question. I didn't really think about it, but yeah, why not? I feel like LeBron James has done everything, so maybe later on. He might not be that interested, though, if you think about it. I feel like he just wants to play with his son and then, retire.
Yeah, well, that way he could regulate his son's playing time. Because I don't think his son would start on half of the top college teams. And playing in the NBA is kind of funny. You talk about nepotism. But then LeBron could do it. They're paying him $50 million a year. Add $1 onto his salary. Let him be coach. Okay, so we got the Nuggets, defending champ. Looks like they're playing well. They're funny. They they struggle all the time. They struggled last year, too.
See, I don't think they even played that well.
Okay.
Lakers couldn't get it done, but I don't feel like the Nuggets were really playing their best basketball in that first series. And there were games, like I told you, like Game 2, they could have really easily lost that one. But
20-point lead, right?
Yeah, so
they came back from 20. Was that what it was? Something like that.
Something crazy like that, yeah. It's just, crazy things happen toward the end of the game. And again, like the Lakers just didn't finish it. But you got players like honestly, like Jamal Murray, I interviewed him before the playoffs. He didn't shoot very well a lot of these games, but he just has that mentality to keep shooting. Even when in game 2, when he made that buzzer beater, he was not shooting well that game. And then he still has that confidence to make that shot. Obviously, Jokic is, one of the best players, if not the best player right now. So they got that going for them.
Yeah, well, I think as a guy who's watched the NBA since the early 60s, Jokic might be the most, right now, he's one of the most underrated players of all time, even though he wins the MVP. I think that this guy stays healthy, which you never know. I think by the end of his career, people will finally give him, the accolades he deserves. Just because he looks a little different, he doesn't look like our normal superstar, even though that's evolving as we see more European players, white guys playing in the NBA who are succeeding at a high level. I think he's that great. And I think they have it together to get back. I think they can win it all. And if I had to pick a favorite right now, I'd say it's them.
I think so too. They do have some injuries going on, obviously,
Right.
even with Murray. And Murray's I think he's going to be like the key player to keep healthy, because he wasn't starting the playoffs. And then I think game 4, he might have worsened that injury a little bit. If he can stay healthy or at least keep playing the way he has through it, then they should be pretty good.
Cool. All right. We're going to come back, talk about the rest of the NBA playoffs with Isabel Gonzalez, CBS Sports. Stay with us.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
Seriously? Buckle up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
What's going on? Who are you guys?
Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
Go to the middle one. Hey everybody, welcome back for our third and final segment here on the 505 SVF. We're talking NBA baskets with Isabel Gonzalez, CBS Sports. Anyway, all right, so we like the Nuggets. They could repeat. Let's go to East. Looks like without Jimmy Butler, maybe Miami doesn't have enough to keep this series going.
Yeah, it's very tough. They got it done that one game where, Tyler Hero said that Jimmy Butler had texted him and told him to just take over the game. But it's really hard to win without your superstar.
So you think that series ends back in Boston right now, right?
Oof, I think so. I like to keep pushing series. Just, I'm greedy.
Sure.
I like it, but I just don't see how they could, keep it going.
I love when they go the distance, the seventh game, because we see these millionaire superstars get nervous. They get tight. It's really cool. Anyway, okay. So we were talking off camera about Minnesota.
Yeah.
You like Minnesota? What do you like?
I do. I just feel like they answer all the questions that people had about them early on, and then just seeing Anthony Edwards, he's still so young, and he has matured so much. Just give him a couple more years, and he is going to become kind of like the face of the league, I think, just because he's so fun to watch, and he's just so incredibly confident. So I like them because of that, because they were, in a way, sort of overlooked, but I don't know, they're looking good right now.
Well, as an East Coast basketball fan living in the Southwest, I think everybody in the West except the Lakers, Golden State, of course, even though they've just timed out, Phoenix, which is a constant disappointment, and KD, I don't know, I think KD's playing for a paycheck. Who am I missing? Denver, of course, and the Lakers. Nobody talks about anybody else. What about OKC?
I mean, pretty good too. They're getting the job done for sure.
So I don't know. Let's go. All right. So we got the Celtics. There's nobody in the East that's going to compete with them, is there?
I don't know. I don't think so. To me, the Celtics are the strongest, but it's the playoffs. Who knows?
That's right. We've got the Celtics. We've got Denver in the West. Now, who's Denver play next?
Timberwolves.
Oh, that's all set. When's the first game?
It is on Saturday.
So, are you live in Denver?
I should be. I hope so.
Okay.
Yes. And that should be a fun one, to be honest.
Well, you like the T-Wolves.
I do, because, well, I feel like this will be a good test for both teams. Because, playing against the Suns, it was like that size advantage. And they're not going to have that size advantage against the Nuggets. So we'll see how that works out.
Okay. Other than your guy, Anthony, who else do you like on Minnesota? Who do we got to watch? The usual?
I think the usual, but it's just like a very whole team. To me, when it comes to the playoffs, like, yes, you need those key guys. But in every team, it's sort of like going back to the Lakers, right? Like, you have LeBron and AD, and then you have to think about who else is consistent. So that's why I think they're a strong team, because you can sort of look at that depth, and it helps. It's not just about one guy. Anthony Edwards, the one we're talking about, because he's just making headlines for now. He's really incredible, but there's a lot of people there. Having Kat back, that was really helpful as well.
Right. Okay. So for all those people who like to wager, your sleeper in the NBA is the T-Wolves?
Oh, I don't know, because I feel like I do like Denver. Okay. So it would be kind of hard to do that.
There you go. Don't be wishy-washy. You pick Denver to win it?
I'm gonna say yes. Okay. I say it's not going to be as easy as people think because of those injuries. But yeah, to me, they are the most solid team.
Okay, so for all you gamblers out there, it sounds like the T-Wolves are a real good sleeper. They'll probably catch a real good price because everybody loves Denver to keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we got the NBA playoffs. The transfer portal is closing tonight. You've been in the pit a long time. You've been many games. You've covered them. You've been a fan. It's important for Albuquerque that the Lobos have a strong team, is it not?
I think it's very important, yes. It's like the heart of the city, I think.
Okay. Well, listen, I want to talk about that, and I think you set me up perfectly. The Lobos are the heart of the city. So I want to thank you for coming on today. Before we close, Isabel's going to be in Denver covering the NBA. How do they follow you again?
You can follow me on Twitter at @CIsabelG, and also just go on CBS Sports and you'll see my stuff there.
I know. If you go on CBS Sports, you have a library there. You can get all of these interviews. I've been blown away at who you've gotten, how easy these guys are talking to you. Pay attention. You're going to see this woman more and more as the days go on television and every other form of media. Listen, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Lobo fans, you heard it. The Lobos are the heart of this city. NIL, we took a hit yesterday with JT Toppin. Everybody in the country has taken a hit. Every team. It's the game that we have to play now. Some people don't like it. Some people think it's not fair. That could be true. You don't have to like the new system. You don't have to think it's fair. I think that way about the IRS, but I pay my taxes every year, or at least I file a return. So come on, Lobo fans. We're in this game. We've got an incredible team. We've got a couple roster holes to fill. Let's get our collective working at full force. We need you to get involved. There is no donation or no membership level too small. On our computer, we can take anything over 50 cents. So, 505sports.org. Go to the website. It's easy to donate. We need your help. It's a crucial time. And again, I want to thank everybody for watching us. Thank you, Isabel. Next week, we hope to have in the studio another former great Lobo basketball player. It'll keep it a secret until Monday. Take care, and let's go Lobos.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Miller here.
And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team's going through some changes, but we're here to stay.
We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field.
505 Sports Venture is leading the charge in the NIL space.
And you can be part of it.
Shorty, she better than all my intentions. Locked in, shorty, you got my attention.